Dude, welcome back to the Dudes and Sports Podcast. I'm your host, PC, and we've got another great episode for you today. Hopefully, the sound's working kind of a little bit bad on the technical sides of things today, as it's just the two dudes here. Obviously, yet again, the dynamic duo, the man made for Way Out West, and PC, always here for your content every Sunday night, 9:30 Central. And then 7:30 for you West Coasters. Since I can't even speak, I might as well let the main man for Way Out West speak.
7:34. Yeah, hi guys, hello folks. I was it was kind of funny as we were
9:30
doing that.
Central.
I was looking at my
And
top
then
monitor
7:30 for
there
you
where I
West Coasters.
usually
Since I
keep an
can't even
eye
speak.
on things. And thank you guys for joining us yesterday. We had a fun time. Whoops, wrong button there. Fun time doing the Fight Companion watch along with Paramount Plus. That was awesome. Gladiator made his debut, but I was sitting, I was watching our first episode, 2024, April 11th, and as you were doing the intro for this episode, the intro was going on for that episode. And I thought I was schizophrenic for a second, but we're back into it. Really excited to see you guys. Grown a lot since then. Moving on to bigger and better things. Subscriber count is just way up since then. Um, but we
Yeah, we're
had good,
getting close.
good
We're almost at
football.
65. We're getting kind of
Yeah.
close. We're at 64.
Once
So
we hit 100, should
well,
we do something?
we probably should. Yeah, we should definitely do something if we ever hit 100
Can we give away
subscribers.
something?
I don't know. We don't have anything
Give
to
away
really
that
give away.
Isaiah Howard Butler
the,
jersey.
the Drake jersey.
Drake, sorry,
Christmas Eve on
whatever.
the
Oh,
podcast.
please.
Unbelievable.
Well,
Yeah.
I know he's on Iowa now, but that's the thing,
Yeah.
is that like
Well,
that
yeah, I
jersey
didn't. I
doesn't
think I
even.
just saw that he got the NIL one. I don't know if I'm gonna have Zay sign another one for me. That'd be pretty dope, though. But I've got that one. So
I think you have to.
yeah,
Unless he only,
yeah,
unless you want me to
probably.
sign something for you, I guess
Oh,
I
I don't
could.
know if I really want that. I mean, that's
Well,
probably not worth a ton. So,
well,
what it is, what it is. Let's
it's
get right
fine.
into it, I guess. Let's talk NFL football. We had two conference championships today. It was definitely weird not seeing the Chiefs in there, but we're past that point. We had the first game of the day was the Patriots playing the Broncos. Patriots win. What a weird football game. Definitely started. They won 10-7, by the way. Weird football game. At the very beginning, it was like totally fine. Like looked cold there at Denver, and then the onslaught of blizzard snow came and just made the field a glorified mess. So it was just a sloppy defensive game. Patriots squeeze out the win 10-7. Drake May only had 86 passing yards, but Stidham only had 133 and a costly interception as well. So it is the Patriots defense again helped prove that they are one of the the best team of 2026 out of the AFC, and they are going to face a really good Seattle team, which that'll be talked about in a little bit. But what did you see out of the Patriots? Do you find them having a decent shot? I mean, obviously, make it to the big dance. Anybody has a decent shot, but looking at how they played, does it look good for the Patriots going into their next matchup for the Super Bowl, or are you kind of like, I don't really necessarily know because of the whole circus act that happened out in
Well,
Denver
with
with the
Stidham.
weather?
Yeah. Well, Stidham looked good. They did deal with the weather. The weather won't be a factor in the Super Bowl in 2 weeks. What's the date on that?
February 8th, the Super Bowl.
February 8th. Okay.
Yeah, so we got next week a Pro Bowl week, so.
Yeah, that'll be fun. But let's look at this Patriots team, like you were saying. I think their defense showed out. They did pretty good. Drake May didn't have the best of games.
No, he
You
did
take a
not.
look at his box score. He was 10 of 21, 86 yards, 4.1 average. He was sacked 5 times. So that's what I'd look for Seattle to do. Seattle, we'll talk about the Seattle game in just a second, but it is going to be a rematch of them. I think there's something to say about Denver and how well they played with Stidham. I mean, if Stidham would have won this and even lost the Super Bowl, I'm sure everyone would be saying that he should be the Jets starter next year.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, I mean, even after this performance, I'm sure there's going to be something like that. But RJ Harvey looked good. He's a really fun player. Also, 6 targets, 13 carries, 37 yards. Uh, tough tough day on the ground for the Broncos. It's tough when you've got that kind of rushing game. New England hasn't lost on the road yet this season. Yeah, I mean, Vrabel
He's going to bring a
came
good
right in.
defense. The defensive scheme is going to be pretty tight. The NFC, both those teams, in the NFC, and we all know the Seahawks won, but those offenses are very dynamic. Can Vrabel lock it down defensively to stop an offense that's as good? I mean, their defense is. I mean, obviously Seattle's defense is really, really good too. Again, we'll
Yeah.
get to Seattle, but I mean,
Yeah, let's go over the Seattle game so we can compare
yeah,
the two.
we go quickly over to Seattle. It ended up being
27
31
kind
to
of crazy.
27. 31-27 in favor of the Seahawks. Um, that was a really interesting game. Big fumble at the beginning of the second half. First half was incredible, back and forth game. Second half comes out, big fumble, and then they go up 10 after that. The Seahawks do, and then on a 3rd and 12, game not over, but like getting close. We're getting close to closing time here for LA at the very end of the third quarter. Big stop, and then there's some jarring on the sidelines. Not the sidelines, from cornerback for Seattle. I can't remember what was his name. Do you remember? I can't remember his name.
Tariq Woolen.
Yeah, jarring at the Rams sidelines,
Sideline.
cost a 15-yard penalty. Same play, next play, he gets burned on a touchdown for Puka Nakua. The Rams couldn't get anything else going after that penalty. Penalty almost cost the Seahawks, but offense, Sam Darnold looked good. He looked really, really good, honestly. Kenneth Walker, great running back as well. I mean, Darnold had 346 for 3 touchdowns. Stafford 374, 3 touchdowns. Again, gave us another instant classic out of this trilogy. But yeah, Seattle gonna go play the Patriots here. What's your thoughts on Seattle, the Rams, and everything that happened in the NFC Championship?
Yeah, so like you were saying, great game. Seattle won it again at home. Los Angeles doesn't quite make it back. Stafford, who knows what he does this offseason. That muff punt really did hurt, but there was a comeback. I don't think LA ever saw the lead.
Uh,
Maybe shortly in the second quarter.
yeah, because Seattle had to score again in the late. It was like a minute 20 left. It was like 13-17
So
or something like
okay, so
that.
like a little bit, yeah, a
Yeah,
little bit
it was
in the
something like that
second
because yeah,
quarter.
it wasn't like it was a ton or anything. But yes,
Nothing in the fourth. Wow.
yeah,
Um, but it was close enough. I mean, right?
yeah.
Back and forth. If I could just get one listener or one person, maybe even PC, to start looking at the game in not necessarily players, but systems, then my work is done. I mean, Darnold looked good. He also had some boneheaded throws. Stafford looked good. He also had some boneheaded throws. You look at all these quarterbacks in the NFL, and when they're not under pressure, you're looking at 1 sack for 9 yards and 3 sacks for 25 yards. Two were on busted bootlegs, so you can't really give it to the quarterback. Well timed blitzes. The cat and mouse game between the OC and the DC is really what we're looking at here. You're looking at like what they're doing with the wide receivers. I mean, you call them a wide receiver; they're really skill position players. They get a jersey number that's eligible. They're listed at whatever on the depth chart, and then you put them in wherever you can. Brady was talking about it the whole game, but you look at Puka, you look at Jackson Smith, and they're just all over the field, putting them
Yeah.
in the best position. And even when you put too many eyes on Puka, then you got Devontae, then you got Cooper. Really well developed game plans by both teams. It was awesome seeing Sean McVay versus Mike McDaniel. I mean, you got the two head coaches of the two teams with both of them calling the plays, covering their mouths with the sheet. Really cool, fun stuff. Seattle's offense did look very explosive, did look very good. Honestly, I think Charbonnet not being there may have even helped in some certain way. Kenneth Walker, when he has to be in the game basically every down, he looks really good. And George Hilani's not a bad backup. I mean, obviously, Kenneth Walker's going to need his breaks, but when you have a backup as good as Charbonnet, you feel
Yeah.
like you have to give him his touches as well. Where K Walk, I had a Seattle fan text me that he looked a little bit like Le'Veon Bell, and I totally agree with that. Very patient. He also looked very powerful this game, maybe a little more powerful then Le'Veon had that good catch on the sideline. It was a little out route from the backfield, and then he cut it back inside. I mean, always when you go outside, you got to assume the inside's going to be open. All those linebackers, especially pushing back. I think it was a 3rd and 4 or something, so everyone was beyond the sticks. Um, but Rashid Shaheed, interesting pickup. I mean, it's just a different mix in the game plan. It's almost like picking up somebody at the NBA trade deadline where it's like, you know what, this guy might not be our MVP at the end of the season, but you got to watch out for him in the corner if he's in the dang game. So that's kind of Shaheed. The numbers he's put up necessarily hasn't been there, but you got to say that 51-yard catch, him in the backfield, he had a good punt return. And then also you have Jackson Smith, Cooper Cup eating in the middle of the field because of that. Jackson Smith was all over the place. Jake Bobo had a good catch for a touchdown. Bobo did miss something on a little screen. Barner had a decent game. Parkinson for the Rams showed up. So really just incredible battle. Like this is what football is about. And you can really break down every game like this. Honestly, if PC would allow me, I'd do every Jet game like this. But the folks don't want to hear that. But the back and forth, right? Like Justin Fields never had a chance. Brady Cook never had a chance. And Tanner Ingstrand's a good guy. I mean, maybe we'll talk about the Jets. Of course, I somehow made this into a Jet segment. We got Sam Darnold, Vanilla Vic. I mean, I've been singing this kid's praises since 2018, 2017. Really, I remember when he went to USC and how good that team was and what he was able to do with that squad with the Pac-12. It was kind of the last breath of fresh air, and he was the number one overall player in the draft. And Browns got Baker, and we ended up taking Sam. Saquon went to the Giants. It was kind of a more pleasant time. It's been a while since the Jets been there. It's fun that you get to see a Jet quarterback in the Super Bowl. Who's the last former Jet to be in a Super Bowl? Last former Jet quarterback. None in last year's. I don't think none in the year before. Here, compare the so we got a rematch here, right? We've got
Yeah,
Patriots and
yeah. I
Seahawks.
don't want to get too far into this because again, we do have All Star Weekend coming or Pro Bowl weekend coming in between, and hopefully Case will be able to get on here and argue a little bit. We go a little preview here. I mean, the Patriots and the Seahawks. Another rematch, another likelihood match that we've seen before. Let's see if it goes a different way. Be really interesting. Really like the Seahawks offense and defense. I like the Patriots defense. I still see some question marks there on offense, especially against really good defense. I think Patriots just haven't played the best offensive squads, so like their defense look really, really good. Not saying their defense isn't really good, but we will see as we get to San Francisco as the main man from way out west continues to try to figure out what the last Jet was that played in a Super Bowl.
Quarterback.
Yeah, quarterback. Excuse me. Let's move quickly
Well, I
to
think Sam Darnold was on the team the year that they lost to the Chiefs. So I think it was Sam Darnold. Yeah, he was.
yeah, yeah.
All right.
Interesting. Guy put that Jets. If we're not talking about the Jets, then what are we really doing? But let's
He's
go
already been on.
to the. It seems like it's been forever ago, but actually it was just this last Monday. We did have a national championship, and we did have a winner of a national championship in a very incredible football game. Hats off to Indiana for winning their first ever national championship in football. Much is well known as a basketball, like top tier place. And their winners usually in basketball. Been a little bit rough recently in past, but in the past they're known as a true blue blood of the sport. Flipping it over to the football side, Kirk Signetti, great offensive scheme, defensive play calls. Fernando Mendoza had 186 points, or not 186 points, 186 yards. And he also had he didn't have any touchdowns, but the
He
defense
ran for that one on
right,
fourth
exactly.
down.
Yeah, he ran for the did a fourth down touchdown, unbelievable there. And then they get Miami, Carson Beck get one more time. Make sure that Haley Cavinger would you prove her wrong to break up with him as he went to Miami, and then throws a pick in the final moments of that football game to give Indiana their first ever national championship. Really cool to see. I love seeing a different team up there than our average, Alabamas and all those types of schools and squads. Georgia, we've seen it a while. So
Except for Kansas in March Madness and Kansas City in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, yeah, but every time else I don't want to see. Yeah, exactly, exactly. There you go. Now you're starting thinking like a true fan. It's the best.
No.
KU should win every year. Like, let's be real. Like, they should just win every year.
Can we get a health check on old Bill?
Hey, Bill had to sit out for Colorado, but he came back for K State, but Darren Peterson was hurt, so it is what it is. Good win by Indiana. Transfer portal kind of craziness. Duke, you want to talk about Duke and Mensa and that whole situation going on there? Or?
Yeah, they're suing him.
Yeah,
Is he like officially going to Miami?
I think he signed a deal with them to go and play for them next year, and then Miami came calling, so then I think he tried to go to Miami, but he'd already signed the contract saying that he was going to go and play at Duke for so-and-so money, so I think that's where they're trying to sue him for him to come back and play at Duke. I don't know how the whole deal is. It's pretty crazy stuff there. It's not as crazy as the Alabama stuff. We'll get into that. We get to college basketball because that stuff is unbelievable. But yeah,
I mean, he's going. Yeah, nothing's
nothing quite yet. Nothing said specifically
about what's going on. But yeah, he's gonna go to Miami if he's allowed to leave. It's weird that you have to get a court order to play for a team.
Well, if you don't agree with the NCAA ruling, then you could just go to Congress and sue and get a restraining order, and then you can do whatever you want.
Yeah, Alabama's
works,
got a kid who already played 2 years in the
G League. Here too. Indiana, good win. Our college football segment is now over until we start it back up again. Football's winding down, man. It's kind of getting to about the best time of the year. March Madness is slowly itching its way closer, but college basketball will take the prime spot after NFL Super Bowl is over and complete. We would probably pick up some NBA stuff. MLB will be getting going a little bit. We get some more spring training stuff in March, and then of course they'll get into season as the rest of the gang hopefully will be around to talk some baseball with main man for Way Out West, because I am. Hey, I'm starting to pay attention a little bit. I saw a little bit of off-season stuff. We're getting there a little bit. We're trying to be more involved with that baseball program. So hey, Royals had some few decent pickups, but let's talk about the sport that's actually happening right now. College basketball, corner 3. Biggest thing I want to talk about this week is, did you see the 3 incredible freshman performances, P4, of this last Saturday? Did you see any of those? Other than, of course, Cam Boozer. Cam Boozer actually had a pretty good game.
Killed it. That was at 9 a.m.
Yeah, that wasn't nearly as big as some of these other ones. But there was 3
It
massive...
is crazy. I mean, this is exactly what you were saying about Colin Canoop last year.
Huge game.
The guy's going to show up, sure. If he's not going to be the first overall pick, whatever. He's 6'9". He's 250 pounds. There's not a thing he can't do.
He's true indeed. Let's start off with the biggest stunner of the weekend. Illinois goes into Purdue and beats them 88-82. Biggest story here is Keaton Wagler. Okay, in his top 24/7, he's a freshman this year at Illinois. Top 24/7 sports ranking. What do you think he was ranked out of the freshman class of this year?
I don't know. 15?
Way lower.
115?
Lower.
215.
150th overall in 24/7 sports. Leads Illinois to a victory. 46 points, 9 from 11 from 3, going into Mackey, one of the toughest arenas in NCAA basketball. Not obviously the toughest, but one of the toughest. And Purdue, a top 5 team, going in there and shooting like that. He shot the lights out. It was an unbelievable performance. He went 13 for 17, 9 for 11 from 3, and then 11 for 13 from the free throw line. Just an unbelievable performance. Illinois jumps up into those Big Ten standings. Purdue falls a little bit. They've lost 2 in a row. They've lost to UCLA at UCLA. Cross country travel, kind of difficult. Understand the loss. Big loss here to Illinois at home. So we'll have to wait and see. That was our first really big. That was our biggest performance of the weekend. Number 2 and number 3. One of them was another victory in AJ DeBanza. He played in the Holy War game. BYU played Utah at BYU. AJ had 43 points. He was 15 from 24 from the field, 4 from 5 from 3, and then also had 6 rebounds as BYU dismantles on not a very good Utah team, but an incredible performance and help win. Robert White, the third, had a 21 as well. He's like that duo for BYU that those two guys, and then Richie Saunders as well can really light it up for BYU. Get another big win. They have a massive game coming up here on Monday as undefeated Arizona comes to town. The third and final one was actually from a team that lost. They had Kingston Flemings, who is a freshman guard as well at the University of Houston. He had 42, 15 for 26 on the field, only 4 for 9 from 3. Still an unbelievable performance. They lost at Texas Tech, which is not a bad loss. Texas Tech looking honestly like maybe the team to actually win the Big 12 this year after a really good performance against Houston. We'll have to wait and see. Arizona, obviously, still the undefeated champ. But really good win. JT Toppin, 31 points. Just went back and forth. Jalen Petty, freshman undersized guard, had 18 points as well. So really big win for Texas Tech. Not a bad loss for Houston. At Texas Tech is tough. We only have one loss in the Big 12. And we'll see how that goes from there. So those are my three big winners from this week were those three freshmen. This freshman class can probably say that is one of the most impressive freshman classes in the college basketball history of how many people are impressive, how you have guys obviously like Cam Boozer, Darian Peterson, A.J. DeBanza, and then you've got Kingston Flemings. Darius Acuff Jr. at Arkansas is phenomenal. Keaton Wagler having his come-out day for Illinois. You've got Koa Pete over there at Arizona. You've got all of these other guys I'm missing off the top of my head right now.
Caleb Wilson
for North Carolina. I mean, it's constantly good freshmen. It's really fun to see in college basketball after all of the pros getting paid to come play college basketball. But let's talk quickly. We'll go through kind of each conference, kind of wrap up, see what happened this week. Then we'll go through the top 25 and see where everything has hashed out. So let's start, obviously, in the Big 12. I've been saying recently on this podcast, I think the Big 12 is the best conference. I'm going to take this back a little bit. I'm going to say it's at the top end. It is the best conference. After about Kansas, it really falls off. You got UCF, who's kind of a middle of the pack team. Yes, they beat KU, but they're also kind of a middle of the pack team. Baylor's not very good. But that top end is really good and has a lot of national championship contenders in there. I'm not putting Kansas in that group, but I am saying that they have improved. But in the Big 12, Texas Tech beat Houston and BYU, which is some of their biggest competition already. They have Arizona as well there. But really big win for Texas Tech. They slide up into that second spot in the Big 12. We'll have to wait and see, obviously, on Monday as a massive game between BYU and Arizona for the top of the Big 12. Arizona is officially now 20-0. There's only 3 undefeated teams left in college basketball. Let's see if Arizona can escape out of BYU, but that place will be unbelievable tomorrow night. And then not really too much else for the Big 12 here. We already talked about Houston and Texas Tech. BYU beating Utah. Kansas had 2 games they should have won, and they did win. They beat Colorado without Bill Self. That game was a little bit closer than you'd like, but again, a road win is a road win. And then you beat K-State at K-State without Darren Peterson. Team is rolling fine. You got to beat some of these top teams. For now, it's working out, but we'll just have to wait and see when they play the gauntlet that's about to come up. As they do play, their next game will be BYU on Saturday. That'll be a really, really good game. That'll be in Allen Fieldhouse. So we'll see if they're a real contender or not. Right after that, they've got Texas Tech, but at Texas Tech. So
waiting for BYU to have its toughest challenge of the year, and then play them after that. I get it.
Yeah, 100%. That's how it works. And at Allen Fieldhouse too. So we're already going to come out there. Let's talk ACC. North Carolina had a big comeback win against Virginia. That was Caleb Wilson, a great dagger shot at the end to win the game for them. Virginia, I've always felt like is a very good team. I felt like North Carolina is a better basketball team than Virginia is. I think that Caleb Wilson can win you basketball games, and Virginia is a great sound team. but they are not like a team that has one guy that's going to go beat you. But good win by them. For Louisville's sake, they've lost a bunch in a row. Mikael Brown Jr. did come back and they did win. They have a big game against Duke tomorrow night, as well as they try to go to Cameron Indoor and try and beat Duke. They don't like their odds going into that game. Cameron Indoor, one of the best basketball arenas in the nation. But that'll be really interesting, especially with Mikael Brown Jr. being able to be in the lineup. Will be a better competition than if he wasn't in there. We'll talk Duke here in just a second. Miami beat Syracuse. Syracuse 3-4 now. Kind of not looking great there. We need some wins by Anthony and some of them to actually have a chance to make this tournament, or maybe they have to win the ACC tournament, which is pretty doubtful what they're looking like. Miami's having a decent year for their first year. SMU loses, but again bounce back again. ACC is beating up on each other, kind of what the Big 12 does too. But the best game coming up is going to be Duke and Louisville here on Monday. Duke takes care of Wake Forest pretty easily. I still have them number 2 in my rankings, even though we get there. I know the AP poll will probably not have them there, but that's my own opinion on them. What do you think of the Duke Blue Devils, how they played so far, and then what are their chances against Louisville and Mikael Brown Jr. As well coming back?
Yeah, I mean, I think we're fine against Louisville. That's not a big issue for me, and I think now with Texas Tech winning, I don't know if you brought that up yet, but Texas Tech winning makes our loss look a lot better now. And interesting stat for you, PC. There's only 3 teams Ken Palm top 10 offensive and defensive rating. Only 2 teams in the top 5 of each. Any guesses there?
Duke's probably one of them. The other one is, it's not Nebraska. Is it Illinois? I know Illinois is
Nope.
really
Illinois
good
is first in offense, but
offensive
29th
in
in
defense.
29th in defense.
So 2 of them in the top. Michigan?
Michigan, their offense is in the top 10. Defense is number 2, offense number 8. So you're looking for the other team. This is the number 1 overall team according to Ken Palm.
Arizona.
They're number 4 in offense, number 3 in defense.
Yeah.
So
That's
you
pretty
got
elite
like
group there, yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of your top 3 right now. You got a Big 10, you got a Big 12, and you got an ACC. That's your mix of kind of running out the top 10 there. You got Big 10s, Michigan State, Illinois, Purdue. Got Gonzaga up there.
Yeah, Gonzaga's
Connecticut's
really
up
good.
there
They need
too.
Huff. They need Brennan Huff to come back for them to be really effective, but he's been
You got
hurt.
UConn up here?
I have my own thing on UConn. I got UConn at 5, but I just think they're escaping in Big 12 and Big East play. I mean, Big East sucks. Like they do. Like, and you're barely escaping against these teams. I mean, I know they've got a win. They've got a few wins, really good wins. I'm not saying they're a bad basketball team. I just think there's better basketball teams out there than them. But good stuff there on Duke and ACC. We will definitely come back and cover that game against Louisville that's coming up. The Big Ten, Purdue losing twice is the biggest thing out of that. Once the UCLA have to go across country. Kind of understandable. They lost to Illinois at home. Pretty bad loss. Not a bad loss, but like not a good loss. You want to win at home. But a kid goes off for 46 points and shoots 9 from 11 from 3. That's pretty tough to beat. But Illinois runs up the table of the Big 10 to get in that rankings. They're kind of in the mix there with Michigan now in Michigan State. Nebraska goes 20-0 after beating Minnesota. They will play Michigan this week. They will be probably heavy underdogs at Michigan. If they come out on top in that, that'll be unbelievable. But we'll have to wait and see. That's why Nebraska's still undefeated. Michigan and Michigan State. Right after that Michigan-Nebraska game, Michigan gets to go play in Michigan State. In-state rivalry. That'll be a really good game this week coming up as well. Definitely looking forward to that. I believe that is Saturday. So that'll be really interesting to watch the Big Ten. Iowa going to have a really good contest against USC coming up. Iowa looking at a bubble team right now. Hopefully they can keep scratching wins out to be able to crawl securely into the NCAA tournament. And then once you get to the NCAA tournament, hey, it's anybody's game. You know, somebody could go off. You can make a huge run at it. But the Big Ten, going to be competitive, going to get at least 7 teams, I would think, or 8 into the NCAA tournament, if not more. That's a very deep and loaded conference this year. Finally, the SEC. Biggest thing that I've got is Florida was on fire beating teams. They did lose to Auburn here at home. That was a pretty bad loss for Florida, killing some momentum in that SEC. You had Vandy bounce back after losing 3 out of the last 4 against Mississippi State. Not a good Mississippi State team, but Vandy needed the win to try and avoid that.
Excuse me.
And then you had Arkansas win. Darius Acuff Jr. 35 points, still an incredible performance for him. Even though that on this day you had 3 other people go for 40 plus, so it's not as good, but still great. Georgia, wishy-washy team, barely doing stuff there. They lost to Texas pretty bad. They got them out of my rankings now. And then biggest Mizzou. Do a little bit of Mizzou shout out here. Back-to-back buzzer beaters. One from the logo to hit it to force overtime, and then Mark Mitchell with the deep 3 to win the game against Oklahoma to keep their bubble figure alive. They're definitely one of those bubble figure teams as well. They need to keep winning some of those close games, but big win for Dennis Gates and that Missouri Tigers team. Let's talk quickly about this whole Alabama thing and Beniaca coming back. I think he did play against Tennessee. Tennessee did beat Alabama, which is pretty impressive. But more and more stuff is coming out about this. The more it's how crazy this actually turned out to be. The judge that gave Beniaca the ability to play college basketball is a 10-figure donor, or not 6-figure donor to the University of Alabama's Booster Club. He allowed Beniaca to play. His wife is the lawyer for the old teammate that is up on a murder charge, so heavily involved with Alabama and Alabama basketball itself, completely destroying the integrity of the game. It's awful. It is what it is. It's just becoming a point where anybody can feed anybody money. You can't be mad at Nate Oates. He shut up at the press conference. He's like, I think the rule's broken too, but why not take advantage of this stuff that's going on? Like, if these guys are doing, if Baylor's allowed to bring a professional player who was a part of an NBA trade to send Anthony Davis from the Lakers to the Mavericks and Luka Doncic to the Lakers, and he's now playing college basketball again, it's completely ridiculous. I'm going to step on the same shoes and do the same thing. So, don't blame Nate Oates. Hopefully the NCAA figures out a way to get this fixed, but again, probably not because the Wild West, and it is what it is.
Yeah, what are you going to do? I think the other thing that goes on with that is it kind of just confuses the fan. Like, I'm used to a certain way on how this sport is run, and you don't do that and then come back and this and that. And I get you, and I do agree it does make it confusing and all this kind of stuff. I do believe that his NBA draft, like his rights are still there. He can't like re-enter the draft. No one's been drafted
Yeah,
multiple
he
times.
can't re-enter the draft. I think he could sign with
Yeah,
the G League or as like an unrestricted free agent, I think is how that would technically go.
well, I don't know because I think wherever he go, like if he decides to
Does he go
declare
back to
back
the
for the
G
NBA,
League team that he was on?
I think he goes to like the Horn, whatever team owned his rights, whatever team traded for his rights or whatever. I think he might have been on the Knicks or something. I
I
don't know.
can't
He was a
remember.
part of some sort of different deal. Um, but yeah, I think the rights are gonna stay there. I'm not quite sure of how all that's gonna affect. I mean, something's gonna change, like you said, but I don't know how important it is to them. I mean, there was old Norm Macdonald joke after Blake Griffin won Rookie of the Year. He goes, "Well, there's kind of a curse with it. No one's ever won it twice," um, and that's kind of the joke, right? But the NBA's kind of always been like that, right? Rookie of the Year goes to Ben Simmons after he sat out, goes to Blake Griffin after he sat out. So it's not really the year you're drafted. Uh, I don't know.
It's really interesting stuff there. I mean, it's hopefully it'll figure itself out, but this is what happens when there's no one really knows the rules. So hopefully they'll fix it. My top 25 before we move on to
Well,
our
they know the rule. That's the problem. Is that the rule? It's a broken system. They keep it's patchwork. It's the American government.
yeah
Instead of it should be every couple of years you relook at stuff and go, okay, is this still how it should be run? But you can't use the old rules with the new rule. Like you're just boom 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 boom. You're multiplying the problem. You
yeah
gotta fix it at the base.
yeah for sure. see what happens there on that in the offseason. But we're in season, so we're still looking forward to great basketball games. My top 25 and 1. At 25, I have North Carolina. They were out. They are back in after the win over Virginia. I've got Miami, Ohio, our third undefeated team, hopping into the rankings at 24. St. John's continues to be steady after Rick Pitino gets his 900th win against his which ended up being against his son Xavier. They're at 23. Bama moves to 22 after losing to Tennessee. St. Louis continues to climb. They've only lost once this year. And Robbie Avila looks like he's going to be ready for the NCAA tournament on his second time around. I've moved Virginia down to 20. I didn't like their performance against North Carolina. They totally collapsed at home. You lose at home, it has a bigger effect on my feelings and opinion of you than if it's on the road. So they moved down significantly to 20. I've got Louisville at 19. The only reason I have them over Virginia right now is because I think Mikel Brown Jr. being back is going to bring this team to be a top 4 team in the ACC and really maybe compete to be like that, 3 or even 2 seed in the ACC with Brown Jr. back. I got KU at 18, staying kind of where they're at. They have a big game again coming up on Saturday against BYU. Will be a really big test to see if this team is again going to be one of those round of 64 exits or if they're going to make a run. I've got Florida at 16, drop after loss to they lost this last week to Texas pretty badly. Even though it was on the road, they lost by 20. They moved down to 16. Arkansas moves up to 15 after a great win. Darius Acuff Jr., watch out. He could be a top 5 draft pick. It'll be really interesting. Talk about the NBA draft coming up in April or June, excuse me, to see where we think these talented freshmen are going to go at one place because there's a lot of them. At 14, Vandy, after slipping down the rankings after being undefeated, losing 3, they get a bounce back win. At 14, Iowa State stays steady at 13. Those 2 losses do harm them, but they did get a win, so that helps. BYU clashes down to 12 after losing they lost to Houston, and then they're starting to slowly kind of make their way up. Big contest, obviously, against Arizona, but got them at 12. Purdue goes down to 11 after 2 losses, especially the big one against Illinois. That's why I have Illinois jumped up into the top 10 after a huge win at Purdue. They are going to be really competing for the top 4 spot in that Big Ten. That'll be really interesting to watch throughout the rest of the season. I've got Houston at 9. Yes, losing at Texas Tech, but at Texas Tech in a really close contest, in a very good game. I do have them at 9, not falling too far, but I do put Texas Tech above them at number 8. This is one of the best teams in the Big 12. They have a lot of veteran leadership. And JT Toppin, Christian Anderson's really good. They've got some shooters, some young guys coming in along just fine for Texas Tech as they make their push towards March. At number 7, I do have Gonzaga. They are without Brennan Huff, and Graham Ike did get hurt the last week. It looks like he's going to be back, but that's a big blow. If those 2 guys played, this team is scary to watch in March. This is a sneaky national championship contending team because you never know, because they're always in the WCC. But the way that they have been playing, I think that they could potentially go for that national championship. Just outside the top 5 is number 6, Michigan State. They have a chance to obviously make this into the top 5 if they beat Michigan coming up this week. And then my top 5, I've got UConn at number 5. Now, real quick, UConn had a lot of analytics and stuff, and probably in the AP poll is going to be number 2. Okay, I believe that UConn is a good basketball team, first and foremost. But I do not think that they are the number 2 team in the nation. I think UConn plays in the Big East. The Big East is going to have maybe 4 bids to the tournament, maybe. It'll be UConn, Villanova, St. John's, and one more maybe sneak in, but that's it. And that's not that impressive. And when you almost lose to all these other teams, these really bad teams, Providence loses to Georgetown, Kim English is on a hot seat, really crazy. But the Big East is not good. And if you have a lot of close matchups against bad opponents, when you have to play somebody that has played really good opponents, you might find yourself slipped up. And I don't think that the rest of these teams I have above will be slip-ups as quickly as I could see UConn and Dan Hurley being. So I think at 5. 4, I have Michigan. I'm not punishing anybody above Michigan. They were above Michigan at the beginning of the talk. I think that this will be a huge week for them. They're going to play Nebraska, who I have at number 3, and then they're going to play Michigan State, who I have at number 6. If they beat both of those teams, I think that unless Duke has some crazy game against Louisville, and they keep continuing to rise. That Michigan team could be fighting for that second spot. But I'm still gonna have Duke at number 2. Do not. I have faith in Duke being a really good national championship contending team. They have all the tool sets, the assets. P4 is good to be happy with that team right now. But Louisville will be a decent contest. It will be fun to see them play somebody good at Cameron Indoor before we get to those North Carolina games. Then we have number 1 Arizona. They have a big contest at BYU. I think they are actual favorites in that game, but only by 1.5. But so my top 5: Arizona at 1, Duke at 2, Nebraska at 3, Michigan at 4, UConn at 5. We now actually have some UFC to talk about, which is honestly terrific. I think P4 may make her way out west. I can't use his government name here on our podcast. We're back. Him and I are both happy. Both watched the fight. You can watch the Fight Companion with him and Blatty. Got to check that out for a little while I was hanging out as well, watching the fights. But yeah, it was a really good fight. There's a lot of fights that may set up our June card at the White House, which would be really interesting as well to see as that date was revealed. But I'll throw this up here for you, and we can just start from the very beginning in those early prelims. Do you want to talk about Smotherland real quick?
So there was 2 fights that were canceled pre-card. The first one was canceled at the weigh-ins. Cam Smotherman fainted at the weigh-ins. Obviously, the first thing that people go to is the whole weight cut thing. He said he didn't cut weight much. I mean, there's a bunch of stuff. There's bright lights. It's probably not the most
he's probably still
inviting,
starving and
situation. And all that stuff. Ricky Tercios. I mean, it would have been a cool fight. Blighty and I both had picks for that. And then for the Michael Johnson, Alexander Hernandez, there was irregular betting. And the FBI, there was a whistleblower, stuff happened. There's been no stuff as far as fighters being accused of anything so far. So we'll see what happens with that. But just irregular betting patterns, so the fight's been canceled. That moved the early prelims to 2:30, and that started off with Buddy making his UFC debut, Ty Miller, against Adam Fugit. He gets the standing KO with the right hook and knee. I mean, looked really good through the entire first round. Ty Miller did. Way to go by him. Adam Fugit. He's had some wars. He's been a part of some wars, but this was Ty Miller's time. Excited to see what he does next. Need to see a little bit more out of the clinch work from him. Need to see a little bit more working against the cage, maybe a little bit more wrestling too. But as far as the striking goes, he's up there. He did win a bonus. There's a new kind of bonus system. I don't know if we talked about this. Probably not. It was just introduced. Every finish gets you $25K, and then fight of the night, performance of the night gets you $100. So congratulations to Ty Miller. He got $25K in his UFC debut. Moving on up the card, we got Josh Hoykett versus Denzel Freeman. Denzel Freeman, slow wrestler. Yeah, and then Josh Hoykett, kind of a fast wrestler. So you got a heavyweight battle. It started fast. Josh Hoykett, really nice with the combos, working in some wrestling. Denzel Freeman, trying his best to stay alive, but 265 pounds, whatever. So what ended up happening is Hoykett was really laying it on him, kind of threw him to the ground. Freeman gets back up, tries to runs away. Time mostly expires. Once, 3, 2, Denzel kind of takes a seat in his corner, and the referee had seen enough. I mean, Hoykett was, like PC alluded to, Hoykett was flipping him off when he did that. So
first
as he was falling down.
Yeah,
but I mean, you gotta stay. If you can't stay standing for 5 minutes, then you deserve to go out.
Yeah.
I mean, what the fuck? Whatever. Then we move on to the prelims. This is when we join you guys online. Alex Perez versus Charles Johnson. I did pick Charles Johnson to win this fight. He was the betting favorite. Alex Perez took care of business, though. It was a KO in the first round. Now, this one, it was kind of back-to-back fights where they're looking at it and they go, oh, well, was it early stoppages, right? Freeman wasn't really in trouble, and Johnson, just got up. This one was a little different. Perez didn't finish up his strike because the fight was stopped. I feel like there was plenty of time for him to do something. The Freeman one, maybe Freeman has a little bit of an argument. Charles Johnson does too. I mean, right? If you're not
Yeah.
stone cold asleep, you always have an argument.
Right.
But
It's in the interest of
I,
protecting the fighter.
yeah, I mean, you got to protect the fighter,
I would
and
rather like
Johnson got
that sucks.
smoked.
Yeah, it's like if you're getting smoked and you're like it looks like you're not in control. It's like it. I know it sucks to like you miss it. He stopped it early, but it's better that he stops it maybe just slightly early than like lets it go long and the guy gets his shit rocked for 5 seconds and you're just seeing his head hit the back of the
And we'll talk about the
canvas.
main event, but if the referee was able to like, because those guys are using the cage, the referee has to stop the fight for the
Yeah,
fight to be stopped,
yeah,
right? It's not like he has a whistle or anything.
yeah,
So if like he was there, right, his pad, he's like pushing
yeah.
Gaethje all the way across the cage, and Gaethje follows up, then maybe one of those would have been stopped. But you gotta know. And Charles Johnson had plenty of opportunities to protect himself. Wasn't really doing that. So congratulations to Alex Perez.
Yep.
He gets 25K. Nikita Kirillov knocked out Modestas Bukauskas. Now
Last second
Kirilov gets
knockout.
himself on a pretty cool list. They threw it up there that he has some of the most knockouts in light heavyweight history in the UFC. Bukowskis looked good for this whole fight. This was a very good back and forth fight. Lot of little wrestling, kind of grappling exchanges. A lot of good striking exchanges. You had kind of two guys just filling up most of the cage. It was a fun fight to watch. It wasn't a bad one. But I had Modestas Bukauskas, so Nikita Kirillov getting the win didn't help me at all. Anything on this one?
No, it was the last second knockout. I mean, Krylov was fighting. They were fighting. Honestly, I thought Bukauskas maybe had a shot at the end there to maybe. I mean, I thought Krylov probably won, but I was like, you can make an argument. But then he got knocked out in that last final seconds. Really interesting fight there to see. Out of them. This next one was really interesting. Went a lot longer than I thought it was going to.
Yeah, Teeb Gutierrez versus Andre Pulyaev. 1 second fun fact that I'm gonna send to the dudes in sports chat real quick. Important note: Super Bowl 60 will be the third time that both head coaches share the first name.
Wow.
In all three cases, it has been Mike.
Ah. It's an interesting stat.
You got Holmgren versus Shanahan. You got Tomlin versus McCarthy, and McDonald versus Vrabel on deck. So Atib Gutierrez coming in as one of the heaviest favorites on this fight versus Andre Pulaev. Andre Pulaev
Kind of
may
figured it
have won
out.
this fight.
He kind of figured him out at the end there. I
Well,
still
you
think
got to get in, you
Gutierrez
got to get
wins,
out.
but yeah, you gotta try. You can't just stand there and try and
I don't know if you can
box.
click the button on your thing and they'll say what the strikes were, but I believe Pulaev actually won the strike
59
battle.
to 34. Yeah.
Is that round one or is that
Significance.
total?
That's full fight.
Okay.
And then 59-34. 2 knockdowns though.
Yeah,
That's why
Gutierrez has a bunch of power. Gutierrez fights a lot like Gaethje,
Yeah.
where he's looking for the home run hit. He's not really going to play the fight. He's going to play for the KO, which works for a lot of guys. Once you kind of figure that out, like Pulaev did, the Russians tend to figure those out a lot easier. They've kind of written a game plan on that. And Pulaev wasn't really using his wrestling as much as I thought he should. Gutierrez, good hip control in those clinch situations. But Pulaev, nice job by him. It was well done by him in a losing effort. And Gutierrez is
Yeah.
really good.
Yeah.
He can shut out anyone's light. No,
He'll be. Do you think there's
vision.
like a fight against a ranked opponent next for Gutierrez? Or does he need to beat one more?
Well,
He's got
they'll
4.
bring him along kind of slow. Now, they could throw him against someone like a I don't know. I know Colby wants to go up to 85, but the other thing is that you've got all these like interdivision like beefs that you need to figure out too.
Yeah.
Like like Adesanya versus Piper. I think Piper would be like a fun fight. Maybe if someone wins that or loses that, maybe they get Gutierrez or something. Um, so it's tough to be the young gun shooting up, even being him, right? Like we've had Bo Nickel be heavy favorite. as a prospect. We have Umar, who fought in the next fight, being a prospect who was a heavy favorite. We had Sean O'Malley, who fought on this card as a prospect, was heavy favorite. Sometimes it's tough to find guys for them. Sometimes they have to shoot all the way up to top
Yeah.
five, like what Sugar did,
Yeah.
fighting Yawn.
Yeah.
But sometimes you try to bring them on a little bit slower, kind of like what they're doing with Nickel. And you run into an RDR who you're like, oh, this will be like a nice step up. And you're like, oh, fuck, actually, RDR is really good. Maybe he should be fighting for the
Yeah.
title. So I think whatever happens in Gutierrez's next fight, whoever wins that fight is going to be in prime position for another good
Really
fight.
exciting fight.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah, so I'm not sure if they're going to look to the rankings. Maybe there's another guy in 85 where they're looking at, but maybe it is a guy like Bo Nickel or something. Um, good stuff from Gutier. We'll see what he does. But also Pulev. I'd like to see who they put Pulev up against.
Yeah.
He's shown enough, right? He can deal with powerful fighters.
Yeah.
So maybe you throw him in there against somebody
Yeah.
and he can prove something.
Yeah.
So moving on up the card, we got the feature prelim: Umar Nurmagomedov versus Davidson Figueiredo. Umar gets the win. I could see a couple times for Figgy. He got the better of Umar, even in some
Yeah.
wrestling
It's
exchanges. I
just
think
like,
he even got credited with a takedown. But
uh,
what are you going to do against this? But what Blatty and I were talking about on stream the whole time,
no take.
does this make you say, oh, Umar's got to fight for the title?
No, it doesn't
It
feel
doesn't,
like
does
it.
it?
It doesn't feel like it.
Honestly, you know what I think they should do? Umar versus Yadong.
Yeah, that's not a bad fight. Well, you give Yudong a little bit better. I mean, not being like, you know what I mean?
And we'll talk about that fight, the
Yeah.
co-main event. But Umar, good fight, but buddy, you guys show me a little bit more.
Yeah, he didn't show me enough. I totally agree.
On to the main event.
Gene
Yeah,
Silva.
just yeah. Once again, I want to shout out the Fight Companion, and that's still available if you guys want to watch that. It was super fun. The main event was super fun. It was super cool time. The chat was going off. I think we're almost at 100 views on that, if you could believe it, PC.
No, I really can. I think that's great. I think it's a great idea. I'm hoping I can hop on a few of those for sure with you guys because I think that'll be good chatting up and doing that as well. But yeah, I think
Yeah,
it's
super
super
fun
cool.
time. Obviously, we can't share the fight with the
Yeah.
fans and all that kind of stuff. But with Paramount Plus, I think it's easier for fans to watch
It
that. I
is.
think
Yeah.
a lot of our fans, maybe the mom or the dad or the uncle or the aunt or the cousin or whoever you're stealing the password from, you're using Paramount Plus, you're watching Landman,
Yeah.
whatever you're doing, and then it will grow the UFC. I think
Yeah.
ESPN Plus got rid of the pay-per-view model now. So and we get a little bit more commercials. That was a whole thing. But going into the main event, it was in Vegas. You had the whole thing. Oh, also Mark Smith, the referee, one of the more tenured referees in the UFC, blew his ACL
Yeah.
at the end of the Gutierrez fight. So well
That
wishes
stuff's
to
like,
him.
yeah.
But let's go on to the main card. Gene Silva versus Arnold Allen. Blatty and I both had Arnold Allen. I made a last second switch to Gene Silva wearing the Fighting Nerds gear.
He looked good.
Arnold Allen looked good too, though,
They
man.
both look good. Yeah. But I
Yeah,
think
Gene
Gene's.
Silva's real scary. He goes through and he talked about the autism and all that stuff. And I'm not DSM-5. I'm not a psychologist. I know PC teaches, so he thinks that he can
No,
see the
no,
inner
I'm not. No,
machinations of the
no,
mind.
no, definitely not. No, those kids run circles around
But
me. No.
yeah. So who knows? But it seems to me that Silva goes through like a bunch of dumps. Like he'll go up and then he'll come down, and then he'll go up and then he'll come down. And if he was just to stay a little, get rid of those dips, then and just kind of stay on even keel, right? Then he'd be a much better fighter. But Allen was able to take advantage of that. Arnold Allen made Gene Silva look bad in certain situations. I do think it was a good win by Silva. Congratulations to him. There was no finish in this fight. A lot of people thought that there would be. Either way, Arnold Allen's got a chin on him, man, and good fighter in his own right. I'd like to see what they do with him at 45. But Gene Silva, just really incredible stuff. We'll see what they do with the Fighting Nerds next. But yeah, I mean, another big fight coming up next week, and we'll talk about that. But I don't know how much this. I think the Gene Silva, and I mentioned this on the live. The Gene Silva versus what was the other fight? Who did he fight? Diego Lopez.
Yeah.
He fought Diego Lopez, and Diego Lopez is fighting Volkanovski for that belt, trying to get his get back. But I feel like that fight, as good as the two fighters are, right? We just beat Arnold Allen. We held in with Volkanovski, one of the best 45 pounders in history. But we thought that Volk was going to be done. We thought that Gene Silva was going to make everyone flatline KO. I think the Lopez Silva fight, as good as it was, I think it was a good fight. Like, right, we talk about the Dustin Poirier Max Holloway fight, or we
Yeah.
talk about the Conor McGregor Max Holloway fight, or these fights that happen when there's two guys who were unheard of. That's always on the early prelims. That's on the prelims. That's maybe opening a main card or something back in the day in UFC. That was a main event card on Noche. Like, that was a big fight. I feel like we kind of gave it a little bit more props than it was, like, kind of wishful thinking, kind of like what we're doing with these young quarterbacks. We're like, oh my gosh, if a Drake May can already go to the Super Bowl, he's already the greatest. All this kind of stuff. And I'm not taking anything away from those guys, and they still can be champions. I think they have the capabilities to be champions. But it would have been cooler if we could get a little slower rise, kind of like what we're talking about with Gutierrez. Gene Silva, he was kind of just thrown to the fire. They're trying to get rid of Volk, and Volk's
Yeah.
not letting it happen. And all these guys are just winning the 45 division. It's just so easy to make that jump from 45 to 55. It's one of the easier divisions to do that in. You just lose your all your good fighters in that 45 class. But I'd like to see what Silva does next. Good win by him. Anything on the fighting nerds?
No, it just it kind of feels like that fighting nerds mentality. Like when Prates fought Gary in this first main event, right? He kind of lost and kind of took a step back, but then he had to come knock out. Now he's got his propelling forward gene. Same thing, right? Took a loss. Now he's got this nice win here to kind of propel himself even further. But we'll have to definitely wait and see on Silva. Arnold was also impressive, but I do like Gene Silva. Oh my gosh, is this a rare appearance? Maybe actually. Oh my goodness. Nobody even
Wow.
realizes that he's even here. It's like a figure of our imagination. I didn't realize that somebody actually show up.
Figment.
I had
You're an
to
English
type
teacher.
out my name.
Figment.
It's been so long since I've been on this website. I had to type out Howard.
With a six and
Sorry for the interruption.
No, you're good. No, we're here cruising on the old.
You
quad
made
here.
it just in time to talk about Natalia Silva and Rose
Bro,
Namajunas.
Yeah, Thug Rose losing.
Fun stuff, yeah. Silva used some Taekwondo. I feel like Rose. I mean, I don't think Silva did all that good, but I don't think Rose did a lot to win. I think that was the
Yeah,
one thing.
Silva
I think
cage control.
inactivity was her big thing here because it wasn't Silva's best fight, but I also think Rose did nothing to like, oh yeah, she won that, like some people thought. So I do think Silva was a deserving winner. Wasn't her best fight, but
yeah, you wanted Rose to actually win and like get a knockout, like to actually win the fight. And if it was
do
gonna come
something
down
that would convince the
to a
judges.
decision, that she wasn't going to get it unless she like dominated.
For sure.
Yeah, good combination stuff on both sides. Mixed it up with the wrestling. Silva looks really good, man.
Silva
I'd like
did
to
good
see
in
what
the
he did
end,
with Silva.
for sure. The third round, Silva did.
Third
really
round,
good.
yeah, she took over, and that's kind of the thing that you see in these fights that go to the cards. And Blatty and I were talking about it on the live, where it's like back and forth in the first round. It's like, okay, well, if you gave Silva the first round, you definitely had to give her the second round. Even though, like, if you could go back, you'd almost be like, okay, I'd give Silva the second round, but I'd go back and give Rose the first round to make the third round like the one for all of it. But all you gotta do is win it by that little ch, right? You just enough to win the round, and that's all you got to do. I mean, that's kind of what was going on in that Gautier fight. It's what you see when you go to the cards, and I think that's why this is such a cool thing the UFC is doing by, and I talked about this on the live too, incentivizing the knockout, incentivizing the finish. Because when there is only a minute left and you're down on the cards, you're gonna have one person pointing at the ground wanting to swing, and the other person's gonna be running away, keeping distance, right? Maybe going for a takedown, maybe trying to throw their own thing in there to kind of act. But right, I mean, I'm a career wrestler, PC's wrestling coach. You see, you know how to not get a stalling call and also not get taken down, right? There's a way to kind of play the game. So that's kind of what you get with Natalia Silva. Yeah, that was kind of else we were talking about how she's kind of the first girl with like the long short slash short tight t-shirt combo. So she's like looking like a mannequin out there, and just really incredible stuff. She keeps good range. I in the women's divisions, you can't look at it like you look at heavyweight, like right, like there's not gonna be a Derek Lewis of women's or whatever, right? So So the way that the women fight, Natalia Silva, just A1 stuff. I think that she'll probably be a champion by the end of this year, maybe early next year. I know that still some work to be done, and we'll see what happens with
I'd like to see her
Grosso.
another fight before a title
Yeah,
fight.
for
But I
sure.
think she's like right there. For sure.
I mean, we'll see that Grosso fight in March. That's who Rose was supposed to fight, right? Rose was supposed to fight
Yes, it was supposed to be
Grosso,
Rose
and now
and Grosso.
Grosso's gonna fight in
Macy
UFC
Barber.
Seattle. Yeah, Macy Barber. So I don't know. Maybe someone who wins that. Maybe this Kayla Harrison Amanda Nunes thing gets figured out, and we do something over there at 35. Weili Zhang's always available. So exciting stuff there. That leads us into the heavyweight bout. Third, this was in the hole. Waldo Cortez Acosta with the KO win over Derek Lewis. I don't want to hear any, because it was the same thing with Usman, where it's like the knees are gone, whatever. It was absolutely a bad loss by Derek Lewis. He's 40 years old. The power was in his hands. Waldo's feet are incredible. He moves awesome for a heavyweight. This just shows you how good Waldo is. Yeah. Derek Lewis, right? Taliesin Teixeira, who's going to be fighting next week, who's still on that heavyweight thing. I think what they're just going to do is they're just going to go, right? And you can say at PC what Derek Lewis is for the 265-pound weight class. But maybe now with Taliesin, now he's going to beat up the Derek Lewis light in Tai Tuivasa. If he even makes weight, he might weigh in at 300 fucking pounds. Is there a way that they could you don't just lose 25% of your purse if you miss it?
I mean, he's had to be cutting weight for the last year.
Oh my.
There's no way he misses weight after coming back.
Yeah, and crazy. Honestly, I've been saying it, but the UFC needs to add a higher weight class, because 265, as much as right.
We're having trouble with talent at heavyweight right
okay,
now.
Sure. But we're 3 Caucasian, sub 6 foot. PC might try to game the system there. Go, no, when I wear heels, I'm 6'1".
We just had Denzel Freeman lose by getting flipped off and not landing.
But 265 pounds is not a lot of weight when we're talking about professional athletes, right? Right, if we're talking about total guys, I get it. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. There is, I need to see a DT, right? A Greg Hardy is an undersized, pass rusher lineman, and he barely made weight. I think he even missed weight once. We need, an opportunity for these guys, I don't know, Reggie White would have killed somebody. He would have, palmed someone's face and, choke slammed them or something. I feel like there's some really cool opportunities for guys. But Waldo Cortez Acosta, he's not, he should be, he's that new generation of these athletes where it's now light heavyweight is the new heavyweight, where you're holy shit, this guy moves like a fucking welterweight. And he's and he's a Dominican, he's a baseball player, former baseball player, and
former pro boxer too.
Pro boxer.
And that's what was huge in this, in my opinion. Sorry to cut you off, but only time I'll even reference something like this, in boxing, they say the best defense sometimes is footwork. And this was the best defense for Acosta. He was just he wasn't ducking or anything, but at the same time, he was just moving circles around Lewis. And once Lewis swung and missed, he was at a different angle. And
heavyweight fights, they take up more of the cage than flyweight fights.
Yeah, Lewis does really good against guys that have flat feet and kind of going up like a casual heavyweight in the UFC. But Acosta's just bounce back and forth and moving at a different angle. And Lewis just swinging and missing, having to turn constantly.
Looks a little like Tom.
Yeah, honestly. Just that light.
And that's what makes Tom so good, right? He 100%. Called out Curtis Blades after the fight. I think that's the fight to make, right? Honestly, if I was Waldo Cortez's manager, I'd be shoot a little higher than Kurt. I think we, or no. He didn't call out Curtis. Did he call out Curtis? Who did Hoykett call out? Hoykett called out somebody too. Maybe he called out Curtis Blades. Hoykett had the good post-fight press conference. I didn't mention that.
Oh, shit, he said.
Yeah, he went off. But what I was saying with the baseball, I don't know if you guys listened to the broadcast. I know you guys were watching the fights. DC was learning what baseball was. live on it. He was like, I was talking to Waldo, and I was like, so you were a pitcher? Like, yeah, man, you know how to use your arm, right? Like that's the windup you use for your overhand or something. And you're like, that's not, no, right? But like whatever. And he's like, and I'm like, and then I say like, well, and he goes, I played out in the outfield. And I go, man, that just means you're like just standing there. And he goes, no, you wouldn't believe it, DC. You got to run around out there. So he's got a gas tank, man. He runs around in the outfield. And you're like, what the fuck is DC talking about right now?
He did say, like, I don't watch a lot of baseball anyways. I was like, okay, what was that reference?
But, like, I don't know. Maybe one of DC's kids was, like, at the home run derby once and took a liner off the head or something. But I don't know what's going on there.
Pokit called out Waldo, and Waldo called out Blades for UFC.
Blades. Okay. So, okay. That's how it went. Yeah. Yeah, so honestly, I think Waldo could hit a little bigger than Blades. Maybe Hoyt gets kind of the Blades fight, and Waldo maybe takes on somebody, I don't know, who's at 265.
Loser of Gone and Aspinall.
Oh my gosh, I guess so.
Who else are you going to put there?
Could just shoot for the top.
Aspinall, did we see what Dana said at the post-fight press conference? They asked him about the eye.
I mean, the last time he said something like from his heart, it's like everyone roasted him for it, so it's like he probably.
And there was the eye poke in the main event. We'll talk about the main event. We'll go through the co-main too, but there was an eye poke, and I looked over to Blatty right away, and I was like, "What if?" But no, they continue the fight in that. But yeah, with the eye poke, and I know you've always been an anti Tom guy, and I know you're gonna say
not always,
but you are like as far as everyone goes, you land on the anti Tom side of the spectrum. You got to be licking your chops right now. I mean, this is perfect for you. And then you got Waldo, you got Dominican coming up to take his spot. I mean, gosh, Nick Howard's.
Dude, Acosta
he gets to deal with Robert Saleh, the coach that got rid of Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold would probably still be a Jet if it wasn't for Robert Saleh. But
I think Woody Johnson would say different.
But no, because he was in Europe at the time. Christopher Johnson was the one who hired Robert Saleh. He was working for DT.
Everything starts with ownership, brother.
Mike Vrabel's also in the. Yeah,
Mike Vrabel had Ryan Tannehill for years, dude.
Made an AFC title game. Yeah, he's in the Super Bowl. So we got Super Bowl.
McDaniels there, baby.
Oh my gosh. Okay, but Sugar Show. Let's talk about the Sugar Show. And this fight looked a lot like, and we saw it right after with the Joe Rogan. It looked a lot like the Peter Yan fight. Song Yadong, in and out. You would have expected him to mix in some more wrestling. Good wrestling. Sean does very good. He does good. And I was talking to Blatty about this. The takedown defense isn't great, but the damage control is. He never gets really put in a position that you don't really feel that he's in danger. Good control against the cage. You did see early in the fight with the first takedown, like you could almost see flashbacks of Marab, and then O'Malley's like had to like snap back into it, be like, okay, well, Yadong isn't Marab. I have to get out of this, right? It's not over. But Yadong looked really good, man. Yadong's a good fighter. He finished Henry Cejudo in his last fight. I was there for that. He's a good fighter, man. I could see I see that where people are upset and they say it's a robbery and Sean O'Malley. It's really like. And I said this in the Dudes in Sports chat. This is how they should judge all the fights. But they, for some reason, only do it for O'Malley, which I guess, like, he's kind of my guy. So, like, if they're going to do it for one, like, I guess do it for this one. Like, I get it's kind of my own little thing, right? Like how Big 12.
Dana says the same thing.
Yeah, schedulers and referees help out KU, and PC says nothing about it. But heaven forbid Arizona get a fucking foul call.
That's how that.
It's pretty close.
No,
and then,
I'm pretty sure. No.
But this is how the fight should be judged and ref. And I get that you want to say industry plant stuff and all that for O'Malley, and maybe that's true. But that's how the fight should be judged, right?
I think Sean
it's
won
about
the fight,
range.
But I think Yadong would have had to like beat Sean to win. Like I think if it was close, it was always going to go Sean. And it's the White House card and everything else and all this other stuff behind the scenes. Like, Yadong had to beat Sean. Sean had to look bad to lose this fight, and he did not look bad. I actually think he did win round 2 and 3 to actually win the fight. There was one judge that gave him all 3. Okay, and you can make an argument of any of those going either way, but I think if Yadong wanted to win the fight, he had to win him by knockout or completely demolish Sean for all 3 rounds to lose the fight, to win the fight.
I think Sean won the first personally and lost the second because I liked what Song was doing with the leg kicks and going wrestling and knocking him down and going and like doing little. He really was like just pouncing.
Well, that's what you gotta do because O'Malley, you can trick O'Malley.
Like the stamina and his legs were like stick, but yeah, I was just saying like I don't know if it was the stamina or something with Song, but like I think in the end, just like Song just went away from the leg kicks, went away. He just was looking for that shot. And I think that's when, like, Sugar, especially in the last 60 seconds, was like, I got him. Because he was just kind of, like, focused, and Sugar was just doing the knees and then going and doing his usual game plan. That's when I said I thought it was too late. But I guess they gave him the first because Song wasn't doing too much. Then he did his game plan, and then he just, like, stopped. So I think in the I could Sugar here, honestly, but like it was razor thin.
He would have to.
Yeah.
Fair enough, and I don't know. I don't really want to agree with PC's take there, being kind of a Sugar homer and also like an ethical, trying to keep the integrity of the game. But I do see where that comes from. More on Song, Rogan talked about his build. He's very stocky. He's very fast. O'Malley, and this is kind of what we were talking about with Gutierrez. This is maybe what we could talk about in the main event with Gaethje versus Pimblett, where in most of those rounds, I mean, obviously we got to give it to Gaethje, damage done, right? And that's what you got to do to O'Malley, damage done. But you look and you can trick O'Malley into this. Gutierrez kind of falls into this. Gaethje kind of falls into this. Yadong was kind of finding that Howard was alluding to. But when you start looking for the shot, you can get hit with a couple shots. And if you don't ever land the shot, then you just got outstruck 60-5. And if you get outstruck 60-5, there's no way you're going to win, right? And like you can have the cage control, right? Like you could be watching. It's the same thing when you're looking at like.
It's like Silva and Arnold Allen first round, in my opinion. I think Arnold Allen won it until Silva had that big old flurry.
Right, he had the big flurry. And we were talking about it right before you got on, but Silva had these dips where he would be totally in the fight, he'd be rocking with it, and then he just let Allen take over for 45 seconds for no reason. And you're like, dude, if you just kept the pressure on, kept Allen on his back foot, yeah, sure, maybe you'd have to do something where you put yourself in danger, but you're not letting the judges even think for a second that Arnold Allen. And I was making this point, these guys into these dips where if you're looking for the shot, you'll get hit with a couple of them, and Song found those things. And it's like I was trying to get to this point, but you'll watch like a wide receiver in DB go after it. And even a time where a wide receiver gets the better of the DB, the quarterback got sacked. Or the DB got the better of the wide receiver, but it was a perfect back shoulder throw, so the wide receiver was able to get to it or whatever. Or the tip-toe catch, right? He puts it in the right spot. So, and we were talking about this with Blatty, and we can talk about the main event now, just kind of seamless transition to Justin Gaethje, Paddy Pimblett. I mean, Justin Gaethje, at any given point in that 25 minutes, he can hit you with a shot to put you totally out. Yeah. And that's what you get out of these high-level fighters. Like, that's why these guys have to register their hands as lethal weapons. Because, yeah, outside of a bar against a guy who's not trained the last 10 years to not get hit, you're going to get hit by a shot. I mean, you got Paddy Pimblett, guy's 31. All he does is get hit in the head. And he's trying to not get hit in the head by this guy. And he got fucked up. Like, it is crazy, the level. Like, you have to be on your P's and Q's while you're rocked, while you're not rocked. All this stuff. And if Charles Johnson's fight was in the main event and it was for a belt, it was a rematch against Joshua Van, would they have called that? I don't know, but it was on an early prelim and you didn't protect yourself at all times. But Paddy, he never went cold out. You got to give him credit for that. And Gaethje, he was just on him like white on rice. He never gave him a second to stop. But the thing with Gaethje, at all. But Gaethje, it wasn't any breathing for him either, and he was willing to take those shots. He got peppered. If this fight, I don't know, it did go the distance, so it's tough to say. But I could even see a way for like a judge to, I don't know, in the later rounds. Like maybe if the fight ended at the end of the third,
Yeah.
you could have maybe like given the fight to Patty in
But
some
4 and
weird
5
way, right?
were
Like how we're
100%
talking about how
close.
these judges. I think the fifth was really the
Yeah.
fourth was interesting. I think the third did go to Patty though.
Yeah.
Patty was like down 2-0, like, oh
I
fuck,
think
he's totally
the
out of
third is
it.
the only round Patty won. Truthfully,
Really won,
I
totally,
didn't
you're
like
right.
any other. Yeah, 100%. I mean, he
Um,
had that 1-2 at the end of the round and stunned Gaethje. I was like, okay, yeah.
right? And you're like, oh my God, Scousers don't get knocked out. Like, can he pull this out of the fire? And then Gaethje does his stuff to come back. But if you were to go right, like combination for combination and really break it down, I see a lot of ads for stuff now. They're doing AI and they're trying to how much percentage of power, right? Like, and you look at a guy like Diaz who hits you with the 1, 2, 3, and it just grazes you, but he lets you know you're there. It's a little wake up. Or you got the Atib Gutierrez who's just going to hit you with that jab to set up the overhand, and if that overhand connects, he's going to lay you flat out. Gaethje, he's got the mix of both. Patty maybe leans a little more on one side and Gaethje on the other. But it was just an incredible fight. I don't know, PC, can you pull up the fight statistics? Who landed the most punches? Because I wouldn't even be surprised if it ended up saying Patty.
It's 200
I
and
mean,
170.
Patty
200
landed
and
a lot of
170.
forearm punches. Yeah,
Right, and those
there were a
short
lot of
strikes.
forearm.
That's the thing
2
that the fighting nerds have
knockdowns,
really mastered. The
147.
short strikes, like I remember against Arnold Allen, coming out of the clinch. Like you try to push away from the guy, but keep your hands up, and just Silva hits you with that short elbow coming out of the clinch every time. We also saw a couple of foot stomps and stuff in the Song Yadong O'Malley fight. So just creative striking. That's what you get at the top end of the card, right? You get a Ty Miller, get a good win over an Adam Few, get you kind of see, right? It's easy for the guys to watch, but then you see all the nuance in these high level fights, and you got to be good for 25 minutes. Patty Pimblett would fuck up just about any other motherfucker, and let's say it, Ilya's gonna fucking send Justin to the shadow
Yeah,
realm.
it's gonna be bad.
I mean, right? I mean, I don't think there's unless Gaethje hits that shot on Ilya,
Yes, I
but
think he destroyed him too.
right? I mean, Ely is going to stand and bang with this guy, and he's going to find those things, right? Because you're looking at Patty and you go, God, Patty, like you were just wobbled enough to not land that other shot. Like you got to land the next
Patty had
shot.
a chin, but he just has such beginner boxing, and like, there's no way the head down, swinging CDE kind
In
of
the
boxing from
hands.
Gaethje is just gonna survive Ilya. Like, it's gonna be a way overwhelming footwork and everything kind of matchup.
Any other thoughts on the main event? We can start talking about next week's fight, 325.
I thought it was a good. I mean, Ilya, I think would have killed either one of those guys. Coming up after when they decides whoever would have won. I know Gaethje won, but if Patty would have won, I think Ilya still kills Patty. So, but
Yeah, so Patty's 31. He's obviously not out of it, and
No.
Gaethje's not going to be around
I
forever.
mean, I respect his durability. I think he should
Fight
not
Armin.
go down a good bit. But
Armin.
gosh, I think that's either way. I think Armin even
said he's
whoops
gonna wait.
Gaethje.
Yeah.
But
That would have been
we'll
a
see.
wrestling match. If Armand was in the cage with
Yeah,
either
he
of those
would've
guys,
just-
it would have been a wrestling match and he would have won.
Yeah. This one's
325?
Yeah.
All right, 325. We have Road to UFC. So exciting stuff. It's a tournament style. The bout will be a part of 325, but it will work. I guess the records count in their record for the UFC, but it is a Road to UFC bout. So we have. I don't know if this shows up for you.
I don't know.
Let's see, prelims, early prelims. Okay, that's the fight I'm looking at too.
Aaron Taub.
Saliro Rangabu versus Lawrence Louis. Oh no. Sorry, the fight before that. Namsarai Batabayar versus Aaron Tao, the Australian. This is 11-1 versus 9-1. We're looking at a guy from what country is this?
Mongolia.
Mongolia. Interesting. All right. Rear naked choke on your road to UFC in his last fight, and round 2 KO in his fight before that. His last 2 road to UFC fights. Pretty good in the regional scene is Batabayar. Aaron Tao, Australian. He's fighting in his local town. He's got like these. I don't know. What do you call that, Howard? Is that? Do I? What do you call that? What do you call those tattoos? Aborigine? Are they? What are the people in Australia that do like the haka and stuff?
usually
Is that
Samoan, but
Aboriginal? But is that just like a word that you use, like Native Americans,
I
where
have no idea.
natives?
No clue.
Whatever. But he's. I mean, I gotta assume that fucking tattoo hurt. Can you
Yeah.
see it on yours?
Yeah, it's
Yeah, his fucking face. That's nuts.
yeah, it is.
Um, he's 5'4". I can't wait to see this. He's also got 2
Maori
wins.
tattoos.
Maori,
Maori
okay.
tattoos. Yes.
And those, I
Or
gotta
Maori.
assume, yeah, I don't think that those are like done in like a shop with gloves. I think that's
No,
like
you
with like
got, like, a
a hot
professional.
needle. It's like
Yeah,
it's
like a
hit with a
professional.
rock.
On the sun, yeah.
Oh my gosh. Then we got Sanglarubo versus Lawrence Louis, another Australian versus the Chinese national. Couple of road to UFC victories on either side of this. Like I said, it is the bracket. Lawrence Louis, 5'7", little tall for the division right here at one. Well, that's the 135, I guess, division. But we've got a couple of these fights. We also have Sebastian Svivalai. Anyone else want to give a try on that one? I don't even know if I want to try this Japanese kid. Kirichiro Nakamura.
Nakamura. You made that
Okay.
sound insanely crazy.
Kirishiro
I got this
Nakamura.
one, Don Monfan.
Don Morfan and Sang Uk Kim. We too low. Holy fuck.
Khan
O'Leafy versus Yazia, 26-5.
O'Leafy.
Damn, motherfucker. He's 29 years old and he's had 31 fights. All right. But Road to UFC, this should be fun. We'll give updates to that. I have not done my research quite yet, so we'll just pretty much go through the card. Let's talk about the early prelims with Oban Elliott versus Jonathan Makayev. Australian taking on Oban Elliott. Oban Elliott, I think he's coming off a loss. Didn't he just lose? Yes, against So Kyun Kyo. That was the fight night in June. He's had some good wins, though, Oban Elliott. So good fight to start off the card. Then we have Jacob Malkoon versus Torres Finney. Torres Finney, obviously, the big neck middleweight who's gone semi-famous, kind of a cult favorite in UFC circles. Cam Roston versus Cody Brundage. Just a lot of Australian nationals on this card, being in Perth. But
I thought, is it brother that got cut?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Justin got cut. Junior's still in. But Cody Brundage, a good bantamweight or middleweight. He's been in some fights. He's kind of been they let him out of the Apex to go to Australia. Like the boys were just saying, light heavyweight Junior Tafa versus Billy Aquina. Billy Aquina, kind of a good fighter too, on a hot streak right now after his loss to Bogdan Guskov in his UFC debut. Beat Ibo Aslan and Kevin Christian. So Junior Tafa, we'll see what happens with him. He's obviously had a rough go at things. Him and his brother losing to Tuco Tukos in his last fight. So we'll see. Billy Aquina is kind of a fun fighter too. Quillian Salakid versus Jamie Malarkey. Quillian kind of becoming like a fun fighter. A lot of fans are liking him. He's an up and comer, Australian national. So is his opponent Malarkey. But after his win over Nasrat Harquast, Gage Young in the Contender Series, Cillian Khalid could be this next Australian champ. They certainly have been looking for one. Volk is going to be on the card, but opening up the main card, Quillian Salakid should be a fun fight right there at 155. I don't know. You guys got anything to say about him? I know he's kind of the first big name on the card.
I don't think he moved up opponents, which kind of is sad. But at the same time, I do like watching him fight. So
it'd be fun to watch. Maybe he can fight a gatekeeper next week.
Maybe.
He wins.
Yeah, maybe the Malarkey thing is like an Australian thing. They're putting him on the opener of the main card, trying to get his name out there maybe a little bit more. The timing will be the same with it being in Australia. is just the people in Perth are going to have to deal. Sorry, it's in Sydney, New South Wales. The people in Sydney are going to have to deal with like a bunch of drunk Australians in the afternoon when they let them out. Moving on up the card, we got Tai Tuivasa versus Taliesin Teixeira. Taliesin Teixeira coming off his loss against Derek Lewis, taking on Tai Tuivasa. Justin Tafa was his last win for Taliesin Teixeira. He's a big fighter, man. He's a good guy. He obviously lost to Derek Lewis in kind of a interesting fight. He kind of just got clipped. I don't think it really showed a whole bunch of what he can do.
Yeah,
and then fighting a guy like Tai Tuivasa, this is a good chance for him to put his name out there. I don't even know. Maybe they dropped Tai from the rankings. I know he was ranked at some point. Is he still in the rankings?
He's still ranked 12.
I mean, when was his last fight? It was 2024, August. And he's lost. And he is on a 5-fight losing streak. Oh my god.
And he's still ranked heavyweight.
Yeah, I mean, what are you going to do? But Taliesin Teixeira, good opportunity for him. Tai Tuivasa, also good opportunity for him. Get his name back out there. Rafael Fitzayev, who just fought Justin Gaethje, just lost to him and beat Ignacio Bahamundes, now has to fight Mauricio Hufi. So good luck, brother.
That's a fun one.
Hufi, yeah, that's going to be an awesome fight. I mean, this main card might be better than last week's main card.
I hate this guy. This guy's so bad, dude.
Which one?
Both of them.
Dan Hooker, Benoit Saint Denis.
Saint Denis is pretty good.
Oh,
he's been
after he lost to Moicano and Poirier, though.
No. This is your co-main to this.
Yeah. Dan Hooker can win this and put himself in a good spot.
And this guy has been calling for the championship since he's been not even ranked, and he hasn't fought really hardly. I mean, who did he beat last? He beat Dariush. What are we talking about here? He hasn't fought.
Beat Rufy. That was a crazy fight.
Yeah, he did beat Rufy. Yeah. Which guess, I don't know. I'm a hater.
Should be an interesting fight. I mean, these are two kind of late bloomers.
It's at least the same level,
and
I think the styles are interesting. I do agree.
Yeah, I think it's a good fight to put together. I mean, who do you want to put at the co-main? Look at all four of these fights. I don't think you put solid teams.
I
look at kind of these main.
You can name a lot of people to name.
Okay, well, another fight to make. But I'm saying that out of these three fights, these four fights, obviously one's going to be the main event. Would you move these three in the middle around at all?
Probably. I mean, the only one maybe you put Rufy at the co-main, but Benoit, already beat him. So.
Yeah.
So
and then you're looking maybe maybe you should go heavyweights higher, but we just talked about Tuivasa.
They both suck. They don't suck, but they're not the level of contender to be a co-main team. So I guess it does make sense, but it is what it is. Dan Hooker's a good fighter. He's fun to watch.
So we got the main event. Get back. Volk, I don't think he's going to retire after this fight. Maybe he will. Maybe it will change if he loses. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. But it is that in Australia, and that's the kind of thing that people say right before they retire. I'm not going to retire.
Lopez. Yeah, that'll be.
Yeah, so Volk versus Lopez. It's the rematch. Obviously, it went Volk's way the first time, but we have found his chin. Ilia Topuria, Islam Makhachev are his three losses. Can Diego do it?
Last fight didn't really show that, but you never know,
I'm hoping so for the division's sake, but I don't know. I think Volk's just always going to be Volk at home.
Evil and Volk could be.
It's going to be tough to beat him at home in front of everyone. I'll take Volk if you want me to pick. I'll take Volk to win, to retain.
Make a pick, Howard.
Oh, I definitely would choose Volk. I do like Lopez. I think he's kind of getting together, but like I said, there was not a lot last fight besides getting caught that one time that really showed that he could beat Volk. And that was just because Volk went straight back, but after that he learned kind of what he was doing and was hitting him at all angles. So I think if Volk does that in this one,
Yeah,
Lopez would have to make a big adjustment for sure.
absolutely. And I think that his training camp in Mexico, he works with a lot of UFC champions out there. I think maybe he can make those adjustments. I do agree that there is a lot of ground to make up, but maybe he can do it. So I am going to put my little money on Diego. Let's see what the odds are right now. Slight underdog Diego, slight favorite for Volk. I'm looking at 160 plus 125. I also have opening line for the Super Bowl. You 5 if you can get it, 4.5 in favor of the Seahawks. But exciting stuff for UFC. It's kind of going to do it. We're going to have more stuff coming up. We might be live again next week. We'll see if we can do that. We might be able to get the dudes on there. I'm trying to work on my side with the production and if I can get some other people in here or not. I'm doing it kind of local, so we'll figure that out. But UFC, exciting stuff coming up. Exciting stuff yesterday.
Yeah.
That's going to do it for me.
Yeah, I think it's gonna pretty much do it here. We'll skip out on ride the bus here, or ride the ticket. It's just been a disaster case so far. I need to get some scrambling going, so we'll hit that back up next week. I think I'm gonna change a few rules in there. I think it'll be like a contest. You each pick pick one, and then if you lose, you get to like first one to 10 correct. Doesn't have to spin the wheel. It's like last person standing has to spin the wheel, but we'll have to figure it out. But glad to have Howard on for a pod. It's been a minute, so glad he was able to stop by. Maybe for Way Out West, always here. Dynamic duo of the Dude Sports Podcast, bringing you live sports. Let's go with our final words from the boys. Let's start off with old Howard, and then we'll finish up with the main man from Way Out West. So Howard, what is your final words to the people?
Yeah, I suppose you can thank me being busy and stuff has kind of been a consistent thing, but you can thank the snow for keeping me inside. Shout out to the Padres, my Padres' birthday today, so that also is cool. But yeah, I guess in terms of the sport world, I think today's 2 games were fun for different reasons. The first one, Snowmageddon. I always love that stuff. Fuck domes. Second one, competitive as ever. I love seeing those two go together, or go at it really, between Mike McDonald and Sean McVay. Matt Stafford, I think apparently he's staying one more year from what I've heard. He was incredible tonight, but overall Seahawks look like they got a really good squad going into the Super Bowl. And then other than that, let's see. UFC was fun this weekend. It started the Paramount card. I think overall it was a fun card. We had a lot of finishes, especially like a buzzer beater with Krylov. That was pretty cool, in my opinion. Another one that was underrated.
And the Hoykett, if you want to count that as a buzzer beater.
Yeah, a middle finger in the first. Well, I mean, the Krylov was like a buzzer beater at the last round. Yeah, so that was really cool. But yeah, that was pretty good.
Salah.
Salah, yeah. I appreciate you bringing that up. I'm happy with that. I think it's a start for something with the culture. It's better than fucking Brian Callahan, who literally, Cam Ward's been on an interview on record saying, yeah, it didn't affect us at all when he got fired. So it's better than that by a mile. And then, so I'm excited to see where that really goes. I think we got a good squad going. We got a lot of money this offseason. If we get the right OC, like offense coordinator, like I've been telling P4, I really like the team. And then
Dayball?
Also, Dayball or Cliff Kingsbury, we're interviewing tomorrow. So
former Jet.
Be on the note of that. That would be cool. And then other than that, I guess for my last team that I've kind of been talking about and relevant, John Morant, trade deadline's coming up. He's injured again for the 500th time. I think it's time he goes. We got a lot of good prospects in college basketball right now, especially guards. I mean, we just had Acuff with a 30-point game, Kingston Flemings with a 40-point game. Keaton Wagler just came on the scene out of nowhere. He was ranked 150th prospect, and he just dropped 46, I believe, on Purdue on the road. He's an incredible prospect. You got, I don't think we got a shot at Doug Bonson unless we really suck. But, and who knows? But I think, yeah, you also got, I'm thinking of one other guy. Mikael Brown's not bad. LeBaron Philon. It's really good. And I think it's just time to move on from Ja. I know, like I told P4, and like I said, he's a fun player. I think he's just, wherever he goes, I hope he does somewhat good. Just at least making good. But I think it's time for us to move on from him. I think there's a lot of at least direction going in the right path, especially if we get Ja traded. I think we're at least going to suck, but I think we get our guard next year. That goes on along. We get baseball season coming back. We may not have one next year, but at the same time, with J.J. Weatherholt coming in, with Arenado being traded, which also happened like a couple weeks ago, I think we're having direction in all my teams right now. So I can't complain too much with my teams. And, go Titans. Hopefully we do something. Salah, I like the hire. And, salutations.
Main man for Way Out West, what's your final words to the people?
Yep. Once again, awesome stuff yesterday. Super excited to bring that to you guys. We'll let you know. I'll give you all the info for next week. I'm not sure if it all went out on the Instagram. I haven't been on there recently, but yeah, all that good stuff. Jets are maybe looking at a new OC, new DC, special teams coordinators, probably the best in the league. Chris Banjo, probably the best special team coordinator in the league. Right now, I'm looking at Jim Leonard as. Come on. Let me have one thing. And Jim Leonard.
We need shake hands.
Yeah, Jim Leonard is our DC. Hopefully, former Jet. He was a part of the teams that made it to back-to-back AFC title games in 2010 and 11, or I guess technically 9 and 10 seasons. So yeah, we'll see what goes on with all that. More exciting stuff coming on. I have to learn a new sport, 8-man football. I'm doing that next week, so that'll be. We'll see what the timing happens, but I gotta check out a coaching clinic to figure out what's going on. We're learning new stuff every day. But what else is going on? That's kind of it. Duke looks good. Mets are doing a lot of interesting stuff. A World Baseball Classic is coming up. I think we got about 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks till the rosters get really finalized. We'll have some kind of interleague games where I think like Team Israel's playing the Mets. Oh, sorry, that's the Cardinals. No, Team Israel actually is playing the Mets. So there's going to be some weird stuff with all that. It'll be fun to watch all that. Yeah, that kind of does it for me. Goodbye, folks. Like, donate, subscribe, hit the follow button, ring the bell, whatever you guys want to do. We actually have a like on this episode. Who did that?
I have no idea.
I'll do it. We got 2 likes now.
Wow, unbelievable.
Thanks for liking.
This has been the Dude Sports Podcast. We are live 9:30 Central, 7:30 for U.S. Coasters. And we'll see you